Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 13 June 2022, coming to you on a Monday evening that is warm, muggy, sultry, and there are storms a brewing. It is the Monday after the weekend that is the Great Eastern Cutlery Rendezvous. So yeah, I made the trip over Thursday afternoon, I guess. Rolled into town about 5:30. Got to the factory a little before 6. There were already 45 people in line for Friday morning, where 30 rendezvous knives were to be distributed. So I decided to just focus on the knife sale Thursday night and planned to sleep outside Friday night to be at the front of the line for Saturday morning. And that's what I did, and it worked out great. Got in number 2 on Saturday morning and came home with rendezvous knife of a different number than I usually get. And there's a story to be told, and I will tell it as I go through the knives. And the knives are really the main topic of this video. I actually purchased 11 knives, 10 of them for me, and one of them for my buddy Pete. Before I show you the knives, just give you a little encapsulated synopsis of the weekend. It looked like about 125, maybe 130 people showed up. On Friday, they went through 185 numbers, and not everybody got a second trip through the store. So, and then I think there were some people there on Saturday that weren't out there on Friday. The picnic was really, really well attended. A year ago, they moved the picnic time from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and I don't think people were really ready for that, and a lot of people went home. There was a big gap of time between when the store closed Saturday morning and when the picnic started. This year, they kept the store open till 2:30 and the picnic started at 4. So people kind of just started migrating that way right after the store closed. It was perfect. It worked out great. There was plenty of time for gathering and conversation before the meal Saturday. And then we had a phenomenal meal. I don't remember Dottie's last name, but Dottie the caterer caters it every year. She's phenomenal. She and her staff, they make the best picnic food I've ever had. So I don't know. I think we had close to 100 people for the picnic, which might be the biggest one ever. So that was a big success. The rendezvous knife, as most of you know, was a special factory assembly of the number 88 Bayou Trapper or sow belly for the rendezvous known as the Diamond King. With that gorgeous special clip main, the lamb foot secondary, and beautiful red and black acrylic. It's just gorgeous. You'll see it here in a minute. But I think they gave away 50, so 30 on Friday and 20 on Saturday. It might have been 55. I know I have, I won't tell you what number I have because it's a cool story, but one of those numbers is correct. And they always keep number 1 in the museum display case at the factory. So it was an absolutely wonderful time. The weather was perfect, great sleeping weather, low 50s at night. Just had a little tiny bit of rain Saturday morning. Other than that, it was absolutely beautiful all weekend. Bill and William, Howard, and William's mom, Joan May, were great hosts. And of course, the queen of peeling potatoes, Patty, was there in the store, wrangling the cats. She's such a sweetheart. And sadly, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but guys, next year's Patty's last rendezvous. She's going to be taking her retirement. She's got very, very aggressive rheumatoid arthritis, and she just can't do a lot of precise manual labor anymore. So she kind of floats and trains, and you know what? She's planned well, and she's financially able to retire. And Bill will fight her tooth and nail. He may chain her to a machine. I don't know what he's going to do, but they've been together from day one. Patty is one of the charter employees of Great Eastern Cutlery. Came over from Queen when Bill started GEC. So she will be a huge loss. I wouldn't take it to the bank that she's definitely retiring. But as it stands now, Next year will be her final rendezvous. I really don't like thinking about that. Anyway, so everything was just superb. I ate too many hot dogs. I ate too many trips to the buffet at Cross Creek Resort, which is the best buffet I've ever had. It's phenomenal. It sort of reminds you of Dirty Dancing, the resort there. It's from a bygone era. The dining room last remodeled circa 1968, the Emerald Room. But man, you know what? They love that place. The people that own it and work there, they know they have kind of a piece of history, and they keep it up. And it's just great. We love hanging out there. We had about 30 people for dinner Friday night, which might be our largest gathering ever at Cross Creek. So I can't say enough, guys. If you are a pocket knife collector and you've not been to a GEC Rendezvous, you must go. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. Now it's time to show you the knives. Enjoy. Okay, you guys ready to see some knives? Here is the story of my procurement of cutlery at the 2022 Rendezvous. So, as I told you, I got to the Rendezvous a little bit late, at least too late for a Rendezvous knife on Friday. So, I slept in my bed at the Cross Creek Resort, woke up about 6, got to the Rendezvous a little before 7, got number 75 in line to go to the store. So I was in no big hurry, but I did meet my buddy John Rao, who had a table this year under the tent in front of the factory, and he had most of his antique knife collection on display, some of them for sale, but he also had a couple GECs. This one was the first knife I purchased after the knife I bought for Peter with his money, and he has it, so we're not going to talk about that one. So under the tent was John with this tube, and it says it's a number 235120 liner lock. So a 23 Pioneer Trapper, but this one is a special factory order by Mike Latham Collector Knives. And this one is covered in 2 of the most beautiful slabs of mesquite I've ever seen on a pocket knife. Got the big drop point main. And Mike likes to do satin, no etch, but he did, because he's a capitalist and a shameless self-promoter, he etched the pile side with the CK logo. Liner lock that rests on top of the tang. Gator snap. Beautiful centering. Gorgeous knife. So that was number 1. And then he showed me another knife that I'll talk about later because I ended up getting it. Yeah, the baby sister to the 23, the 73. But stay tuned for that one. Now it's time for my first trip into the factory store. And actually John Rao had tipped me off that they had some of these Northfield Unexcelled 44 Buffalo Jacks, or 44 Magnum Gunstock as I like to call them, in Sambar Stag. Now this is one of 2 or 3 knives I purchased. I always go straight to the store only case at the Rendezvous because Bill is a sneaky little devil, and I think he puts perfect knives in the store only case and sells them at a discount for those with a discerning eye. And here is this one, guys. Are you kidding me? I looked at it, Patty looked at it, William looked at it, Bill looked at it, and none of us could find a reason why Bill set it aside. The only thing I can figure is that the stag does get a little thin by the spine of the handle, but not thin enough to be alarmed. So you got polished blade, long pull, cut swedge. Hefty pull on this one. Solid 7.5, maybe an 8. And that big usable pen blade that you get on the 44, I dig it. That's a thing of beauty. So that was my first knife purchase from the store. And along with that, the limit was 2 per visit. Okay? And here's the other one. This is a special factory assembly, what we used to call a parts knife. knives put together, usually run in some time in the past, and this one you can see date coded 2021, but with different covers or different finishes, and this one's kind of cool. It's an 83 Tascosa in Hummingbird acrylic, and guys, I just want you to look at what the light does to this acrylic. Are you kidding me? I'm not a huge acrylic fan, but I bought 3 acrylic knives this Rendezvous. I think that's 3 more than I owned before the Rendezvous. So yeah, the little lock back, just beautiful. The new style Northfield etch, upswept clip, long pull, cut swedge. This one's got just a very slight bit of side play, 0 up and down. A little beauty. So that was my first trip, and then I had been marinating on this other knife that John had. Oh, guys. Now, they actually made a lot of these for a 2007 run, but you never see them come up for sale. Notice Great Eastern Cutlery American pocket knives with some squirrels and an acorn. Now, this is before the tube top labels and before the 6-digit model numbers. So this tube signed label by Christine Tucker, 73, in stained green tea, 2007, number 250 of 350. And the reason I bought this knife, number one, I love the closed end, swelled centered curved trapper, but the 23 is so doggone big to carry. I bought a 73, and I just want you to look at this jigging. With the possible exception of the 15 rope knife, I don't think GEC has done anything this beautiful as far as a jigging pattern before or since. This is going to have polished blades in 440C. Great Eastern Cutlery trademark etch. Drop point main. Maybe a 7.5 pull, maybe an 8. The spade blade is a little tougher to get out because the nick is right near the spine. So that was knife number 4. And then on my last trip through on Friday, I bought 2 more. And frankly, this one was purchased for the purpose of reselling to make up for the $500 I handed John Rao. This was in the store all day. I think I bought this at about 3 o'clock. It is a 2022, so a current run of the Northfield Barlow 77. But look at these 2 beautiful pieces of Cocobolo. And notice the tube is going to say store. Again, we all looked at it. I looked at it, Patty looked at it, William looked at it, Bill looked at it. No idea why it was a store only. 7 pull. Beautiful walk and talk. Centering on this one is, it might be very slightly to the right. Who cares? So that's a stunner. That'll show up in a knife sale on Thursday night sometime soon. I'd keep it, but I am, as you guys know, not a spear point guy. And then the last knife I bought on Friday was this little guy. A Northfield 49. This is an SFA, but it's a store only. 1 of 8. 1 of 8. And I think I found out why it's a store only. So this is a little swayback sheep's foot, the inverse of the 94 clip point, right? In unicorn ivory acrylic. This ivory material is exactly 100% as authentic as the animal from which it's harvested. I hope the camera is doing justice to the internal figuring in this synthetic ivory. It is absolutely stunning. And I think I found, I'm going to have to pull this out. Yes, I did. The reason it's a store only, there is the slightest crack right above my thumb at the side of the shield. Who cares? Beautiful little satin blade, cut swedge and a long pull. The sheep's foot looks so awesome. Notice it says 2021 Special Assembly. 1 of 8. Beautiful walk and talk. Just a stunning little Sunday go-to-meeting knife. So that did it for my Friday. Friday night, slept overnight. Number 2 in line behind Jesse Woodell for the Rendezvous knife. So here is the knife. The Diamond King. It is, a number 88 Bayou Trapper or sow belly in red and black acrylic. And notice I do not have number 34 this year. I tried to get number 34, but somebody took my number on Friday. I was despondent. I was crushed. I looked at a couple other numbers, and there are 2 reasons I choose 34 every year. One is because of sweetness. The great Walter Payton, perhaps the greatest football player to ever lace up the spikes. Yeah. And my best friend, Denny, was the 34th heart transplant patient at Lutheran Hospital in Fort Wayne. But this year, I didn't get 34. I looked at 24, I looked at 22, and here was number 51, which I believe was the last number. I believe. Number 1 stays in the store, and they gave away 30 and 20. So I think this is the last number. Number 51. Not Walter, but my childhood football hero. It was in his jersey, with pads and a helmet, that I sat in front of the television every Sunday and watched the Bears. Dick Butkus, 51. And here's the knife. Oh my Lord, would you look at that? So the Diamond King. Now Bill asked me, Rob, do you know what the story is behind this? And I said, I don't know. He says, if you've been paying attention to what we do, you'll know. Now, I was thinking like farther back in history. And remember Charlie Campagna used the diamond shield on his Diamond Jack 48 trappers. I thought maybe this was either a tip of the cap or a little jab in the ribs to Charlie, because that was the Diamond Jack and this is the Diamond King. But first William told me and then Bill told me, it's got nothing to do with Charlie. Okay, what does it have to do with? I will show you later. But there is that special clip, but not curved like it was in the 38. It's got a beautiful peak and a drawn swedge. It just makes it look menacing. Nail neck, satin finish. And the PPP on the pile side of the main blade. And word has it that Patty has actually peeled potatoes with this knife. And there is your annual Rendezvous GEC 2022 etch. Nothing on the back side of the lamb foot. I just love how those 2 blades nestle in Congress, even though there's a center liner. Just beautiful. I'll get to the rest of the story at the end here. So my other knife for the first trip through on Saturday morning was this one. And another one I bought specifically to defray some cost. It is a 2022 current run of the 14 Titute Barlow. No Lick Creek designation anywhere on this knife. In goldenrod saw cut bone. And man, is this a stunner. Guys, look at that bone. I mean, it is gorgeous. If this were a 15, I would not get rid of it. But this will show up in a knife sale soon. Got the good as gold Titute cutlery etch. A little stunner. And then I thought, I bought that acrylic, Hummingbird acrylic 83. I need a user. So somebody left this one alone for a day and a half. It's a Titty-Ute, 83 Tascosa in Mexican Bacote, a store-only knife, but can't really find anything wrong with it. There is a bit of a dark streak in that Bacote right by that rocker pin, but I don't think that's a defect. I don't know. And it's got about the same blade play as the other one, just a very... Actually, right now it doesn't have any play, so who knows. I love this little knife. It's just got a beautiful clip point. Not bad looking Bacote either, I don't think. So yeah, that was the first knife of the second trip on Saturday. And then, after I got the story, you know, on the Diamond King, and I knew it wasn't Charlie, then I looked at the sticker that came with my knife. I don't know why I made this so hard. It says Blackjack at the top, King of Diamonds, and they did a regular production knife in the 88 Sow Belly, black linen micarta with the Ace of Spades shield. That devil Bill Howard, always trying to get our money, because if you bought this knife as the Rendezvous special and got that sticker, and there just happened to be some of the other knife available, how could you not buy both? So I did. Oh, I love that guy. So here's what's cool about the Titty-Ute Ace of Spades. Got your Ace of Spades etch. Nothing on the backside. Now we're used to seeing the PPP etch on the mark side. I'm sorry, on the pile side, but there's nothing on the pile side of the secondary. Check it out. Miss Patty has made it to the mark side of a knife. How about that? So that was the last knife I bought. So 11 in total, 10 of them for me, 1 of them for Peter, a couple are going to be for sale. It was a very good weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed looking at those. And if you have not been, and I've said this 100 times and I'll say it 100 more, find time to get to a GEC Rendezvous. But be careful. Once you go one time, you'll never want to stop. It's just a great weekend. Great people. I look forward to it all year long. The 2023 Unofficial Rendezvous group is open on Facebook. Thank you, Logan. And guys are already pining for more Great Eastern Cutlery. That's it for this one, guys. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Talk to you soon.